Thanks for joining today's snapshot for January 29th. I can't believe it's almost the end of January and that Lent begins in 2.5 weeks. We will be having services at Dr. Martin Luther Church this weekend. No matter snow or not, or no snow, we'll have a service at 5 and at 9 and 10:30. I hope you can attend one of those services, one of which will be recorded for those of you who cannot attend, and it will be on our website and Facebook page. We will have an annual meeting on Sunday after the third service, the 10:30 service. At 11:30, we'll have this meeting that will be also be broadcast by Zoom. So if you need the ID or passcode for that annual meeting, be sure to let me know. You can email me for that information. We're going to elect 3 more members to the council. The 6 members of the council who do such a great job are still staying on. They'd like some more people to help lead our church in this important time. And Kyle Schmoker, Bob Connors, and Dick Zeltner will be elected if you attend. By the way, you can vote by Zoom, 1 vote per Zoom attendee unit, and we'll also be approving the budget, which we also need your support for. Well, on this day, January 29th, some interesting events occurred, just a few of them. John Napier on this day in 1594 predicted the end of the world. He based it on his reading of the book of Revelation and told King James VI, that's the King James Version King James, that the world would end in 1688 or 1700. He was only 330 years off and counting. In 1814, France defeated Russia and Prussia. That was a battle that was part of the 6-country coalition that opposed Napoleon and France. The 6-country coalition eventually winning and sending Napoleon into exile. In 1879, the Custer Battlefield in Montana was established. We all know about the Battle of Little Bighorn. And one more, in 1924, the first Winter Olympic Games started on this date. Well, all of these historical dates and events, and you can read about all of these events on any day of the year if you do enough web searching, remind me of a quote that a historian used in a lecture I heard. He quoted Juan Ortega y Gasset, who said something that I think of a lot during times of tragedy or crisis or uncertainty in our culture, and we've certainly had a lot of that in the last year. Decisive historical changes do not happen based on great wars or terrible cataclysms or ingenious inventions. Rather, Ortega y Gasset said this, and by the way, he was a veritable quote machine, and I love this one. I refer to it a lot. It is enough that the human heart incline to sensitive crown, let me start over. It is enough that the human heart incline its sensitive crown to one side or the other of the horizon. This is how history is made. Do we incline the crown of the heart toward optimism or toward pessimism? Toward heroism or toward mere utility? Toward combat or toward peace? That's how real history happens, not through decisive wars or cataclysms or ingenious inventions. So that's why it's important that you and I incline our heart towards optimism and towards peace and towards heroism rather than despair. That's why I try to salt my day with prayer, certainly with regular worship on the weekends, and why I'm so happy that I got the vaccine a couple of days ago. My spirits have lifted. And that's why last night, while fixing dinner, we played a Rachmaninoff piano concerto instead of listening to Let's Make a Deal while we fixed food. We want to incline our hearts, I hope you want to, towards hope rather than towards despair. Let's listen to this hymn at the noon of the day. I'm recording this right at noon. Lord of all eagerness, Lord of all faith, whose strong hands were skilled at the plane and the lathe, be there at our labors and give us, we pray, your strength in our hearts, Lord, at the noon of the day. The first verse is appropriate to waking. Lord of all hopefulness, Lord of all joy, whose trust ever childlike no cares could destroy, be there at our waking and give us, we pray, your bliss in our hearts, Lord, at the break of the day. I pray you have God's hopefulness with you all this day long.